on Module 2, Topic 3, Lesson 1 through 2. We're going to do 2 pages. The first page is from Lesson 1, M2-187. We're just going to do number 2, A and B. So number 2 says, Amanda chooses to continue with the first training regimen. That's stuff that's in number 1, don't worry about it. Because it takes so long to train, she decides to make a quilt in remembrance of her achievement. She will add squares to the quilt every 2 weeks using the pattern shown. So weeks 1 and 2, there's the first square. 3 and 4, she adds like basically onto the side, so she adds 3. Week 5 and 6, again adding to the side, so now she's adding 5. Write a sequence of the first 10 terms generated by this situation. Each term should represent the number of squares that the quilt will have. The first term has 1 square, and explain your reasoning, blah, blah, blah. So, we can see term 1 has 1. Term 2, so this is term 1, 2, and 3. Term 2 has 4. Term 3 has 3 by 3, so this is 9. And we need to figure out the pattern here. So basically just like, it's increasing, but how much is it increasing? So we always know that they're adding on basically just the edges, so we need to figure out what that means. So here between 1 and 2, we are adding 3. Between 2 and 3, we're adding 5. So if we wanted to see what the next one would be, we can kind of like picture what would be added on here. We're adding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you can start seeing a pattern of adding 3, adding 5, adding 7. So at term 3 we have 9. So this was plus 3, plus 5, plus 7. So that would be 16, plus 9, which would be 25, plus 11, which would be 36, plus 13, which would be 49, plus 15. How many terms are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, let's keep going. So plus 15, that'd be 64, plus 17, that would be 81. Plus 19, ooh, that's 100. Is that 10 terms? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very nice. So there's our 10th term, is 100. By the end of the training regimen, how many squares will the quilt have? Let's see, I think she said her training, how long is her training? Adding every 2 weeks. First run, 10 weeks long. Okay, so that is, that's turn 10, but the thing is, like, she was doing 10 weeks long, and each one is 2, so actually it's only 5 terms, and so at the 10th week she'd actually only have 25 squares. Okay, that's that page. And then for lesson 2, you're doing M2-203, and we're actually just doing number 1, A through C only. So number 1 says, Grant is recording the hourly temperatures of Grove City for a science project. He starts at 8 a.m. and records the temperatures each hour for 24 hours. The graph represents the temperatures after 8 a.m. So we have 8 a.m. and on. So is this graph discrete or continuous? So just looking at the graph, we can tell it's continuous because you don't have these disjuncted points. But also just thinking about what it is that we're graphing. We're graphing time and temperature, two things that you don't need whole numbers. You can have decimals. You can have parts of those. So this is continuous. Is the graph increasing, decreasing, or both? Well, there's parts that it's going up. There's parts where it's decreasing. So that's going to be both. Is graph linear or non-linear? So there's parts where it's just straight linear, but then it changes, right? So this is non-linear. Overall, there's sections that are linear. What was the temperature of Grove City at 8 a.m.? So that's our starting point. That's right here. So that's 40 degrees Fahrenheit. And then what's the temperature at noon? So don't just go over to 12 because that's 12 hours later. So you have to think, if this is 8 a.m., how much further away is noon? So let's see, to go from 8 a.m., that's 4 hours to get to noon. So at noon, we're right here. So that's 60 degrees at noon. And then, did the temperature change at a constant rate from 8 a.m. to noon? Well, looking from here to here, that is constant. And describe the changes in the graph. So it's just a steady increase from 40 degrees to 60. And that's all we're going to do for this page.